fancy buttons.
Your fancy buttons made us mute.
TP Show.
What did you forget to do?
I forgot to hit the record button.
Woohoo! TP Show.
I need my enema.
I'm gonna randomly babble for a bit.
Woohoo! TP Show.
Okay, so I want to make sure that I cover this because it's, again, oddly enough, a friend of my friend, but a friend of the show who hasn't been on the show yet. And I will let the clip speak for itself. So let me just throw that up.
Hey guys, here's my idea. Check out this idea. How did I get the idea for space juggling? I was studying how humans rotate. There's two ways in any position that you can rotate stably, and every other way is not stable. One of the ways that you can spin stably is kind of like a cartwheel, where you're spinning around your belly. As I was thinking about that, how the head traces out a circle, I wonder what would happen if you threw a ball down to yourself. You could probably catch it. That's what would happen. You could probably throw it again. You do that enough times, people, including me, would start calling it juggling. Before I went on my first parabolic flight, I was wondering what would be the most useful thing for me to know. I ended up writing a program with a fully articulated human body that you can move around into any
I
position,
just wrote this
and
program.
then it calculates what axes you can spin around
crap.
stably in any position. And I did that to prepare for my flight, and then in the months or year after my first flight was when I came up with the idea. I was talking with Story Musgrave, who's an astronaut who did a lot of movement and
Looks
dance
like him
in
too.
space. He is the most capable at speaking about his embodied experience. And he was like, hey, if you take a rope and you put it on a flat surface and you wiggle it back and forth, it moves in kind of a wave, and that's exactly how it would move in space. And so that really got me thinking about this thing that a horizontal plane can cause objects to move in the same way that they would move in space. Then I spent all summer practicing zero-G movement in aerial harnesses and in pools and wind tunnels and float tanks to just try to see which thing gives me a little glimpse of this, which thing gives me a little glimpse of that. And I just thought, okay, I'm just gonna tie myself to the ceiling. I start spinning and I'm holding the balls and I start throwing the balls. They're rolling on the ground, and I hadn't thought totally about what it would be like to be the guy spinning and watching how the balls move. Even though they travel in a straight line when they're rolling on the ground, or when they're in space they would travel in a straight line, when you're spinning with it, they're traveling in these curves. It was this whole new challenge to tune in to how that curve was going to behave and to be able to expect how it was going to behave. The way to find out is to practice. I'm going to do this every single week, and I'm just going to find out what happens. At the end of 6 months, I was confident that there was something very beautiful here.
This is awesome.
that would be interesting for other people to see.
Space juggling, everybody.
So did he actually go into space?
He has not gone into space yet. So what he was on is what's called the vomit comet. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before.
Yeah,
but
I've seen it in
Twice as
Jackass.
effective as minoxidil. How do
You've
you
seen it in
identify?
Jackass. Go ahead.
Twice as effective as minoxidil.
Holy
He's
mackerel.
good at what the?
What? Space juggling is twice as effective. What? But wait,
Wow.
Adam doesn't have any hair. Wait. No, I don't know about this. So the tie-in is this. So I met Adam long time ago, and oddly enough, he is a prop person. I mean, he's doing space juggling. And he is one of the very few people that actually learned vertical spins. So obviously I have balls around me, but it's finding them. And I've got to find two of the same size. Never mind. I'll find them later. Whatever. I've got about 1 million balls within arm's reach, but they're all the wrong size, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is
people
spinning.
on the podcast. There's a bunch of people all around them.
Yes, exactly. So this is spinning right here. This is just basic, ordinary spinning. Now, I did a fancy, and I think I told this story on the show a couple weeks ago. I used to do a routine. I was really super cocky because when you're a performer, you kind of have that. You got to have that bravado.
Of course.
So I would be like, I can spin them together. I can spin them apart. Both hands, both directions. And somebody from the back of the crowd goes upside down. What? My brain just went clink. So I learned how to do the upside down spin. It took me 6 months to learn how to do it. It was very complicated because I nobody could teach it to me or anything like that. And literally the first person I showed went, "What are you actually doing?" Because this is me doing it upside down. You can't see the freaking balls. It's so ridiculous. It's the dumbest trick ever. Don't learn it. Although I have to admit, upside down led to vertical. So now, and the problem with these is my hands can't quite do this size. So vertical being like this. So I spin them like this now. I can take two that are of a smaller size and spin them like this. And Adam is one of the few people, and I think I got mad at him too, and and it's time served. Literally, he picked it up in like 3 days. But then again, well, no, two things. First of all, I'm a slow learner, and I did show him some stuff. But secondly, he's got skills, dude. I'm level 4, he's level 450. He's won multiple awards for he uses something called a flower stick, which is basically you have a stick in the middle, and then you have two what are called tap sticks, and you tap between.
Yes, I've seen those. Yep. I just didn't know what they were called.
He's a national champion. And he's also like a PhD in physics, and now he does space juggling. So that's where I know him from.
You said he made video games too?
Does he make video games? No, he just
Who was the guy that you said made video games?
James Ernest. So
Okay.
James Ernest taught me how to contact juggle, and I hadn't met Adam until like 10-15 years later. So and I will tell you, almost everybody that does prop manipulation, like they're jugglers or contact jugglers or flow artists, they do hoop, they almost always have these cool other things they do, if that makes any sense. And so that is the situation. Speaking of which, Michael Glenn, who is the person that does something called Sphere Play, and we worked on a project together, he owns a company called Noteworthy Chocolates. And what they do is they will actually laser engrave chocolate with whatever you want that's on top of the chocolate. And so, like, if you need something for a wedding or anything like that, we got it for a graduation present. But yeah, these are all the friends that I have from the prop community.
You should contact them and see if they have any like ads or anything like that, and we'll do ads on the show.
Thank you for watching this segment of the TP Show. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know when we post. We are also on Spotify so you can listen to us on the road. Until next time, this has been another episode of the TP Show.